reflection on project and voice acting in general. We had a question. It's like, how do you hydrate? And most people be like, water and tea. I'm guessing you say the same thing. So
Yeah. Specifically hot water.
hot
Yes, I
water.
am. I am a maniac. I drink hot water.
Why hot
I think.
water?
It was originally because it was like this interview with there was like this Q&A session by Jennifer Hale, and like when people were like, well, how do you take care of your voice, and she's like, I don't talk, I drink hot water, that's all. And I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna try the hot water thing. And after that I never went back. I actually do hate drinking cold water now.
Oh no, I love
Like,
cold water.
because it's like still super refreshing, but it's like that doesn't warm up my vocal cords. It actually like tightens. I think it like actually tightens up your vocal cords, which is why I try to stay away from it.
Like so one time I was at a amusement park, and you know how people don't like freeze their water, they just have cold water expecting to stay warm or cold the whole day.
Yeah.
So like my friend brought water that wasn't even cold, it was warm, and we was in the sun, so it was boiling water by the time I drunk some. And my stomach started dying. I was like, oh Lord, oh my goodness. I was like, oh please, like, because I'm like, I ain't gonna pay $10 for a bottle of water. I was like, I'll just heal me, because I did not want to pay.
Yeah, there's like practical application, you know, like I would definitely not want to bring hot water if I'm like going out on a walk, like a really like 100-degree weather, and I'm like, oh, the water's all evaporated. Great.
So like, yeah, I even be putting ice in my water. I was like, nah, my water gotta be cold all the time. I'm like, why
you know those like what is it? You know those Sterling cups, or like those like water bottles that like stay insulated, they keep the water insulated.
Tumbler, the Stanley.
Why did I say Sterling? Stanley cup. Stanley cup. But yeah, Stanley cups. You know, where like, yeah, you put like whatever water's in there, and then like it keeps that temperature for like, I don't know, like 24 hours or something like that. Yeah, I do that with hot water.
No, you're degenerate for that. Like, why do you need to make your water stay hot? Like, not even warm, it's hot.
It feels good. It feels great.
Okay.
It feels great.
You know what I was gonna say? It's like, you probably said Sterling because silver sterling is like made from Sterling Enterprise.
Oh, you know why? You know why I said Sterling? It's because I think Silver's name popped up. Like, you know, when I see Silver Sterling, because I saw that visual so many times, and then I started thinking about Sterling, and then I went to Sterling Cup.
Do you understand the joke on Silver's name, by the way?
No, I actually don't.
Say his name backwards. Like, say his last name and then his first name.
I don't get it. I'm like,
Silver Sterling. Say it backwards.
oh, wait. Silver. I gotta like type this out.
Just say the last name first and the first name last. Okay, what's his last name?
It's Sterling.
And what's his first name?
Silver.
Say it together.
Silver?
Yeah, it's Sterling Silver. He's a golden spoon child. Sterling Silver.
Oh my gosh.
I'm like, no, he's not getting the joke. He's literally typing the name.
I thought you literally meant like read his name backwards.
No.
I'm like,
no,
let me read Sterling in reverse.
No, that's why I said say his last name first and his first name last. And I'm like, he's not getting it. I was just like, bro.
You know how we love hyperfixations?
I was just like,
I'm
oh
just
my
like,
goodness, he's
I'm
not
just
kidding.
oh, I am hell bent on like getting that first thought and trying to understand that first thought.
I'm just like, bro did not understand the assignment.
I will continue to not understand this assignment and figure out my own assignments.
Oh my goodness. What are your overall thoughts on artist choice as a project?
My initial thoughts when I first like came in, I was like, whoa, this is a very huge team.
Yeah.
I think when I like first came in, I was just very overwhelmed. And I think it was a very like I was like, oh yeah, this is a game jam. It's like where everything gets so chaotic because you know you have to meet that deadline of a month of doing this project, and with everybody like all hands on deck, like please like hope to God that this doesn't crash on us. It was like my first time really seeing like just how chaotic things can get when everything's on such like when everything's on crunch time.
That's a good question. Are you the type to need someone to hand you the script? Like, because I remember I would tell people, the script is final. I put it in the finals thing, and they're like, "Where's the script at?" I was like, "I just said it like 5 times." And I would send a link. They're like, "I still need the script." I was like, "I said where it's at." Like, are you the type
Yeah.
are you the type to like, I need it myself?
I definitely look back at the sorry, that was another call that was being initiated without my consent. If you caught any of that. But oh gosh. But yeah, I tend to like check back on messages in case I missed anything, especially when people ping me. I'm like, oh god, did someone ping me? I really hope I didn't miss out.
I realized
there's definitely a couple of times like when I got pinged in that chat and I'm just like, oh no, did I miss something? Oh please God, no.
I realized the amount of people who turn off all notifications, even pings, and you have to. Yeah, that was
I definitely I definitely made sure that like all pings that were associated with me were enabled. But if not, like I always took the time to just be like, okay, let's check back on. I think because like the voice acting channel was like the most relevant. I always made sure to like check back on that in case like there was anything else. But with how busy it got, like especially during that time for me, I was still just like, maybe I should like, or not maybe I should, but it was like, I definitely missed out on that.
Yeah, no, I was like, oh my goodness, there definitely I need to figure out a method next time, because for the amount of times people were like, where's the script at? I was like, I just sent it. I pinned it. It was one of my biggest frustrations, having to find something again. What do you hope players will experience when playing Artist Choice?
I just hope like players will just enjoy the cast. Like I didn't really get the time to like play it myself, so I'm a little bit bummed that I didn't really get to, you know, experience it like when it was fully released. I just hope like when players are going into the game, I hope that they enjoy like the different personalities that are gonna be there, like all visual novels, you know.
For all y'all
like,
who want to play the game, it's on itch.io.
Hey, hashtag advertisement.
Yeah, hashtag sponsored on itch.io. Play it right there. What were you saying?
You know, it was like it's a colorful cast. It's oh my god, it's fun. Like I liked it for what I was doing. Like I hope that like the fun that I had and for the people who are also working on it, I hope that the fun that they had working on it translates to the players who end up getting the finished product.
Did any of the other characters stand out to you when you're reading the script?
I think. Oh, actually, I remember like the demo that you guys threw out like
Yeah.
at the start,
Yeah.
and I played that, and I think that was like with Damien.
Yeah.
Yes, and I did remember that. I'm like, huh, it was such like. I really liked the Damien's thing because I think I also auditioned for Damien, and that was.
I feel like you would have fit Damien in some aspects. Because like he's like a playboy, but at the same time, your voice really does fit Michaelangelo because this was like literally the vibe I had envisioned for his head. But I feel like Damien, like for his softer side, you captured Damien.
It was just like all those like the characters unique aspects. It goes back to like what I was hoping for players, like for the people who were cast for those characters. I hope that like what they were able to portray and what kind of fun they had with their characters, I hope like that translated to the players themselves.
Yeah, like when you get the time, you gotta listen to it with voice acting because it's so crazy now. Like it's like I can't believe this was really put out there. But also,
I'm so mad. I'm so mad. I really don't get that much time with games. And if it is times with games, like it's like pretty much planned out times with people.
Yeah, the Damien, honestly, like with the Damien voice, the only thing I would say is that like the guy who voices Damien is like his voice is ASMR, is basically ASMR. So it's just like I think he got you beat there because it's like that's literally what girls be wanting to hear. So it's just like, can you really capture that sexiness? So, it's like, Arya. Oh, Arya, is it? I kept coming at him. I was just like, but Arya. What are you most proud of in your performance? I know you said like it's just you, but it's like anything you're most proud of when performing yourself or like in Michaelangelo.
I think it was just those times where like Michaelangelo had to be really emotional in a situation where from an outsider's perspective you really didn't have to be, but I think I was just really proud like hearing back on those recordings where like Michael was really into those meanings, and I'm like, yeah, when I'm listening back as like, you know, someone that's like outside of the scene, I'm like, damn, you're really into this. I know I'm not. So being able to have that double like experience of, man, I really felt myself when I was like just loving everything, just loving everything about art, and then me being that guy who's probably licking the ice cream, just going with it. Wow, this really isn't that deep, man.
Do you think you can play this with like one of your friends and they see your reactions to voicing Michaelangelo?
I am always super uncomfortable when it comes to listening back to myself. I think it's just like, I feel like that's just like something voice actors like have an innate like cringe detector with when they have to hear themselves in something. Or maybe that's just something like beginner voice actors have.
What did you learn from working on this project?
Definitely like communication.
Yeah,
I think like
yeah,
like what is it? It's not like I just didn't have any communication to start, but it was just really important to just maintain communication for a project like this. because with something with such like short deadlines, it really accentuates the like the red the red flags that immediately go up when it comes to like that immediately comes in with projects of this kind of parameter, namely communications. So if things aren't being like, if certain goals aren't being set and they're not being given to the team, or they're not being communicated well enough for the team, or if the assignments for certain things aren't weren't conveyed in a certain way that was that would have been properly needed, that's really important for projects in general. Like if you were to tell me Michaelangelo was this comic relief, like that's the whole purpose, but I just went full on like edgy Shadow the Hedgehog kind of vibe, it's like where was this where was this in the spec docs? So like being able to like establish a clear goal for a certain section of a project, or like all sections of a project, having certain goals for certain sections of whatever you're trying to do, and making sure that everyone's on board with it, it was like perfect. Like that's ideal for me. And with like the voice acting portion in particular, it was like, yeah, you're trying to like it was pretty much like trying to make sure that everybody was getting their lines in like when they could. And that's really difficult when it comes to remote recording, because pretty much when it comes to remote recording, everybody's doing it on their own schedule. So it's always important to like communicate, hey yo, just trying to check in, like how you doing about recording these lines.
Yeah, there's just so much I learned from this that I'm just like, oh my goodness, I don't know how I'm gonna do voice acting next time, but I need a break from it. It's like, it's so tough. It's just like, it's the struggle.
It is.
It's such a struggle. It's like so good to hear, but at the same time, it's so struggle to put in.
It's like I always hear this from like I always hear it from people well versed in the industry. Like if people are planning on putting in voice acting for their project, that's got to be like the last thing you do. Everything else has to be like set in stone before you even think about putting in voice acting, because that is a whole another giant you have to tackle that like would require a lot more time on your hands.
Yeah, I think voice acting itself took like the other half of the time. Like it took us like an extra 5-6 months just for the voice acting, and we butchered some of it. Like some voices you could hardly hear, and like some voices aren't even in there at all. It's really tough, but it's like there's not really much we could do without the proper people to assist us and our lack of skills. So, but like we're just glad that we were able to get the voices in to begin with. So
Yeah.
What kind of roles or genres are you drawn to or interested in working in the future for voice?
What kind of genres?
Yeah.
I'm like oh man. I never really had like a fixation on like any particular genre, but like in terms of roles, I guess like roles, I really like playing the villain for some reason. I don't know, it's just really funny to be this jerk.
What?
Like because like I don't know. It's just really fun to be like that. Because like it's not something that I normally do. But you know,
Give me
but you know,
Give me your villain voice because you're like, I just like to please me, and you're like,
It's
I could be a villain.
I don't really have a villain voice. It's more just like uh it's more of just like a projection of like myself because a lot of voice acting is just using your regular voice, which is me.
We're gonna make
But
it canon where Michaelangelo becomes the villain. He's like, everything you guys did to me, I will do it 10 times.
yeah, it's not really like I don't really like relate to voices as much. It's more just like how I project myself and like when I play man, when I want to be a villain, if I ever get like a really huge villain role, oh, that'd be so. I could be like, I'd be so excited, just like whisper into someone's ear, and be like, tell them that they're nothing, that they didn't amount to anything. I don't know. They like, I don't know. Daddy went out to buy milk and cigarettes or something and never came back.
I thought that was Michelangelo because he's a horrible daddy. No, we can't give him that stereotype. That would be so messed up. I'm sorry. No, that would be so bad. But I'm sorry.
I went to get paintbrush. I went out for paintbrushes.
He went to get the paint, a gallon of paint, and left.
Paintbrushes.
That would be so messed up, considering everything. But it would also be kind of funny. I'm just like, I can't though. Like, maybe if this was like Khai or Ethan, but I can't with Michaelangelo. Like, it's too much. Anywho, if you could voice any character from any video game or visual novel, who would it be and why?
That is so hard. There's so many characters. I could like, you know how hard that is?
Oh,
I play a lot of Fire Emblem. I can name
Fire Emblem.
so many, like Fire Emblem heroes. I can name so many characters and their voice actors, like off the top of my head. Like, there's a lot of voice actors I just like know, and it's only because I've just heard them in Fire Emblem Heroes. Like, oh yeah, oh hey, Yuri Lowenthal, Elliewood. Oh hey, Marth from Fire Emblem. Oh hey, Yuri.
I feel
It's like it gets so silly. But to like go back to the original question, it's so hard because I'm a freaking nerd. I play too much video games. It's really hard to narrow down like a character that I'd want to voice. But
like, you have such a soft voice, but I can low-key hear you play as Link. It's like, yeah.
I think like if I wanted to voice anybody, I think it'd be like either it'd be Jamie from Street Fighter 6 or the protagonist in Persona 3. Those are my two top picks.
Oh my god, you know what you just remind me of? Have you seen Solo Leveling or any talk about Solo Leveling?
Yes. I've heard about Solo Leveling. I've watched a couple of clips about it. Never watched it.
I haven't seen it yet, but like the voice actor for it is the voice actor for Persona 3 apparently.
Yeah, I know Alex Lay.
Yeah. And he is
I love that guy.
He was just like wakey because everyone wanted him to say arise for Solo Leveling, so he's like, I'm gonna butcher it for you guys. And then I think one of them was like erect or something like that because it was a reference to sister leveling.
Yeah. I remember that video. He was like, guys, I swear if I get another freaking tweet about, hey, don't mess this one up, I'm just gonna butcher it and be like, hey, wakey
Hey, wakey
I love Alex Lay.
Oh my god. Oh,
he was you know, it's funny like totally off topic. The first role I ever heard Alex Lay in was actually from Fire Emblem Heroes. he was George, the merchant guy.
Bruh.
It was just so neat to see like because I'm also Vietnamese. I'm also Vietnamese, so
I saw
seeing
that.
seeing the representation through like Alex, like uh really kind of gave me a little bit of hope and made me really excited to just be like, oh man, I want to do this too. I want to be a voice actor too.
I saw
And
that.
it made it more hopeful.
Like I saw that. I was a little confused with your I think it was called card because you wrote in
Oh
third
yeah.
person for one. I was just like, why is he writing in third person? Did someone else make this for him? Um, I don't know if you've seen your card in a while, so that's why I was just like, huh?
Oh
Uh,
yeah. It was more of like from what I remember, the reason why people like to write out their bios in third person is more for an algorithm, like more
uh,
to like pertain more to the algorithm. So like when you write out Alex Lay, it's the first person that's probably going to show up, Alex
mm,
Lay,
mm.
and it would probably bring up a lot of like more relevant materials that include that kind of search parameter.
So when I'm like, when I get a voice actor, someone's like, I don't take that into consideration. Like, I mean, yes, it's cool to like, be like, oh my goodness, it's actually someone who looks like me too. But it's also like, if I also don't take into consideration the the worker, the talent behind it. So it's just like to only take that into consideration. It's just like I feel like it has to be a balance of both.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely that seesaw kind of thing.
Hmm.
To balance both things.
Yeah. So but like I think you did a good job with Michaelangelo. I literally like when I hear Michaelangelo, that's literally how I think he sounds like. Even like, cause I literally saw today when I was looking at your car, I was like, oh, he's Vietnamese. I was just like, I did not know that. I was like, that's kind of cool. Because I think I had asked you. I was just like, oh, by the way, are you Michael, like Latino? I think you said no. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, it didn't really matter to me, but I was just like, because I think someone had asked me about it when it came to other characters. Like people usually have a problem with they're not the same race or skin tone. And I was like, it doesn't have an issue with me, but some people have an issue with that. So we discussed that, and I was just like, I mean, I think it's cool either way that you're able to capture someone regardless of your background.
As long as like the thought is in there,
Yeah.
like, and it's not like immediate dismissal of that proper representation, I think it's totally fine.
Yeah. So, let me see. I think. Oh, where can people find more information about you?
More information about me. I no longer use Twitter, so I'm not advertising for that anymore. But you can definitely just go on my card site, KhaiTruongVoices.card.co. I am mostly on Blue Sky now. That is a big, mostly on in air quotes because I am not a huge social media guy. Um, as um, as very in tune to my character. I like to stay in my corner, and it's really hard for me to get out of it. But you can check me. But yeah, you can also check me out at Blue Sky, K Truong Voices. Um, that's that's pretty much where I hang out.
Well, I appreciate that you had the interview with me, and thank you very much for voicing Michaelangelo. Maybe if we do anything with his character in the future, uh, we we could possibly have you again come back if we want to do voice acting.
No, thank you so much, JJ. I really appreciate it. Like it's been really fun talking to you. I never really get to talk with like a lot of people, and like especially with like projects
Mhm.
outside of like project details and stuff like that. And it was just really nice like hearing your voice, but also I also appreciate the compliments. Like
I mean, I do have a pretty amazing voice, but aside from aside from that, I appreciate that. Yeah, because it's kind of hard asking you guys when it's like, oh, what was some feedback you guys had and stuff, because some people kind of don't like doing it via text, so it's kind of easier to do the interviews, and interviews also give insight on the project and so forth. So yeah, it was pretty good. So with that being said, this is JJBEATS. Y'all have a fantastic day and take care. Bye bye.